Thanks for joining Vanolarm, and in this video we're just going to do you a quick video, and in this video we're just going to do you a quick video demonstration of how to use the Anytracking app. Hopefully you've downloaded that successfully using the QR code or the web link within the paper instructions. Here you'll find on this front page that we're looking at that we have our Anytracking app already installed. So we'll just quickly go and press that Anytracking app button. It then takes us to the logging in page. On this page, it's important to remember at the bottom of the page we have a login by device and a login by username name. What we're looking to use is the login by device, which will show in blue when we're using it. So don't use the username because you won't get in using the special ID code that you've got. So at the top box here we have the ID number. This is the ID number found on the back of your smart GPS device. So we'll just enter that into that top box. I've already preset that, so that's in. Then below we have the password box. The default password is 123456 if it's your first time of using. If you've used thereafter and changed your password, then obviously put that password in. We then have a choice of which maps to use. Preferable to use Google Maps if you're UK and European based, so we just choose that. And then if we want to remember our login, we've got that choice there to remember the login or not, and it needs to be blue to remember that login info. Then we just quickly press the login button. So we're now into our app. At the top of the page here we can see that we've got our ID number for our device, or the end 5 digits. We've then also got stationary battery and 100%. That's telling us the actual status of the battery within this smart GPS device, which is rechargeable. The fact that it's saying stationary is telling us it's online. If it's offline and not connected to the app, it will say offline there, and there'll be some other help within the help pages to get that unit online and help you there. So we'll work our way around this app. But mainly we'll start from the settings page, so that's button, that's the one in the middle. So we just press that button. At the top we'll find about device. You can have a quick look in there, but it's not particularly needed at the moment, this moment in time, and there is some data to put in there later. So we have this option here, as we can see, to put the change the password. This is obviously advised not to leave the default 123456 and use your own device. So you would put in the old password at the top at the moment for the first time users 123456, then put your own new number in the new password, and then the confirm password, repeat that new password again, press submit, and it will take you back to the landing page to put your new password in when you're logging in, that is. Okay, so then the next down the list is our SOS list. So what is our SOS list? Our SOS list is the number that we want the alerts to be sent to if anybody's trying to break into our van. So here we've got 3 options of numbers. The first top number should be your primary number you want the system to send alerts to, either it be SMS, if it be by in-app, or if it be by phone call. You need to put that number in there. There are 2 other options. You can put 2 other numbers for further numbers to be alerted, but you should be mindful that the other numbers work in sequence. So the way the system works, it will first phone the top number. If there's no connectivity to that number or nobody's answering, it will move on to the next number and let them know. And if there's nobody answering on that, or there's no connectivity, it will work onto the 3rd number. So it won't do all 3 all at once. It will only do one at a time, but in sequence. But it gives you that option just in case you have turned your phone off and you've got no connectivity on your phone, that somebody else can get those alerts. So we put our numbers in there accordingly. Just to suit, we'll just give you a quick example in the second number. And we just press the OK button, and we wait for a success message. This is the really important part. As at the bottom of the screen here, that tells us that information has gone back in. We can check that by going back to the SOS list again. and we can see that number's in. I'm just going to take that out because I don't need that at the moment. Okay, so that's your SOS list set up, and that means that your alerts will now go to your phone of choice. Then the next 3 buttons down are the actual sensors within the smart alarm. First we have the door sensor. Now this is not the siren alarm door sensors. This is the magnetic door sensor that you have on your device. Some people use that magnetic door sensor for a secondary backup option if they forget to set their sirens and somebody opens the rear door, for example. There is only one magnetic door sensor, so in that case you can only put it on the one door, but some people use it for that backup. However, some people also use it for ensuring that the smart device is not taking out of its holder. If you place that magnet next to the holder in the right location, once it's removed and you've armed this, so the arming is by using the choice of open, which we have here. So this has now been armed. So if the magnet is next to the device in its holder, and that unit is removed from the holder, then the alarm will be set and you will get alerts to your phone. I'll just turn that off at the moment because I don't need that. Okay. We then also move down to our vibrator alarm. Again, this is not the siren sensors that you have on your doors. The smart device itself has a vibration additional setting within it, so that, for example, again, if you forget to set your siren sensors on your door and you have your vibration sensor set within the device itself, the device will pick vibrations up from the vehicle if it's moving or there's somebody moving about heavily within the van. So to arm that, again, it's just a case of close or open. However, in this situation, we have a drop-down box. As you can see here, we have a sensitivity levels that we can choose for that vibration setting within the device. In this device, it only has 4. Obviously, on the siren devices, there are 7 levels, but I will be going for the highest setting of 1 here. I press the 1, I press the OK. I'm waiting for the device to come back. I have this success message. That means that device is armed. Quite simply, if I want to disarm it, I just go back in to the vibrations alarm button and I go to close and I press OK. And that will have disarmed the vibration alarm within the smart device. Then we have the audible alarm. Now this is the preferable choice which we tell people to use within the system. Once you've set up the sirens in the right location, again there's video advice on how to do that within these pages. We suggest that you use the audible alarm as the principal method of sending you alerts, because this is the way that the device hears the sirens going off. Those sirens aren't physically connected in any manner to the smart device. It has to hear those alarms going off in order to send the alerts. So it's important to remember that and use this option here and arm it on the open, and everything's set. So if your sirens go off, then that noise sensor in the smart device will hear those alarms going off and send those alerts to you. You should be aware that the noise sensor is set at 90 decibels. We've set that at a nice high level, so it only realistically picks up the smart alarm that rings at 115, and also at the same time it takes out any of the ambient noise that's around the van on a daily basis. And because the unit's in the van, it usually will not pick up any noises such as even loud lorries, etc., going past, or fire engines, etc. because 90 decibels within the van, it shouldn't pick up those environments. However, on the odd occasion, we have had a report of very loud claps of thunder setting the unit off, but unfortunately there's not a lot we can do about that, but it's a very, very rare instance, and in most instances that should do you fine. So then we go down to the next button, which is safe mode. This really is only if you're having software issues with your device. We recommend you use this. It's very, very rarely used, but you have that option to turn it on or off into safe mode so that it doesn't delete the app if you're having problems with your phone. This is not the app itself where the problems is. It's usually when you've got a problem with your phone, and you might want to put it into safe mode to make sure that nothing happens to our app itself. Okay. Then we have the local horn setting. The local horn is the beeps that come from the smart alarm itself. When you turn it on, you'll get some beeps. If the alerts go off, there will be some beeps. If the unit itself is having issues connecting to the network, you'll also get some beeps. It's just there so you've got some audible notes about what's happening. What we recommend is when you've actually got used to the system though, however, and you're confident that everything's working right, that you don't use this option and you close it and turn it off so those beeps don't work. The reason for that extensively is hopefully you've secreted the smart alarm somewhere in your van where it's not very easy to find. If somebody did get into the van and the alerts or the vibration sensor worked or the noise sensor worked, etc., it would start beeping. That would make it easy for the person who broke into the van to find the device. So if you turn those beeps off, it makes it a lot harder for the device to be found. So in this case, we're going to turn them off. Okay. And then we're going to go on to move on to the settings with regards to how we get our alerts. So the next one down the list is our alarm mode. Now, with Vanolarm, you get three options. You get the option to send you alerts via the app platform itself, which are in-app messages. You get SMS text to your phone, or you get a phone call direct to your phone. And you get the choice of how you want to work that. The reason we have those three options is because with the phone network, we can sometimes have some small delays with regards to phone calls. We don't realize that when we make a phone call, that the networks actually put a small lag in there that can be up anywhere between a couple of seconds up to 30 seconds sometimes. So that's a slow way of getting the information that somebody's broken in. So we want that to be quicker. So we have the in-app platform as well as a text, which are both a lot quicker normally than a phone call. And you can set your phone, obviously, that even if it's a text from a certain number, you can set that to ring at the same time as well. But that's also very much subject down to the type of phone you have. So with us, we've got all three items armed. So next down the list is the reboot button. Realistically, this is when you have a problem with the app itself, and we're only human. We recognize that on the very rare occasion, depending what phone our app is downloaded to, it might have a glitch. Again, very rare, but you can reboot the system using that reboot button there, and it will reboot your app. Next down the list, we have the power off. This is if you feel that you're getting some false alarms for some reason coming from the smart alarm itself. Again, we've built in all the protection against false alarms. Or if you feel you want to save the battery over a long period of time and you don't need the alarm turned on at some point, you can actually remote turn it off using this button. However, you will physically have to go to the unit itself to turn it back on. So that's what that option's for. And finally, we have the factory reset button. This button only is for removing the tracking log. It will not reset your passwords or anything like that. And if you need to reset your password and you've forgotten your password, you just quickly need to send an email to us and we can remote do that for you. But we'll need your name and address details and your ID number to make sure that you're one of our clients. Okay, so we can probably hear the beeping there because I pressed that OK button and it reset the system. I'm going to log back in. Okay, so we've used this setting button in the middle. What are the other buttons? So next to the setting button to the left, there's a conversation button. We'll quickly press this. What's the conversation button? Well, with Vanolarm, you can actually phone in to the unit itself and listen in to the general vicinity around where the device is. So if you suspect that somebody's broke into your van and you're not 100% sure, and the alerts didn't go off for some reason or whatever, you can actually phone in and listen into the device. Now at the top list, we have call the tracker. With this is where we go back into our settings. You can, if you go to the call the tracker button and then on this pop-up, press the OK. This will take you to the about device. In the about device, we need to put the device number into the actual about device information. The device number is the phone number on the SIM which you have inserted into the phone. To do that, we just go to this button up here, which is the square with the pen on it. We quickly touch that. It brings up lines in that area. I'm going to make this one up. And we can put our device number in there so the system knows which number to call. Also in here, we have a contact number. We suggest also that you put your own number in there. So that the system also knows who's calling and it's a relevant number that it's allowed to phone into the device. Once we've done that, we just press the save box at the top right there, and that saves successfully. So that now means if you go into your phone and just phone the number of the SIM card, you can phone in directly to the unit and listen in, and only you and those using those numbers that you've inputted in that manner will be able to get in and listen. So what's the voice monitoring? Well, the voice monitoring is another way of listening in. For the first option, you've actually phoned the device itself. However, you can use this option for the device to phone you. For example, if you're running out of credit on your phone, you can get the device to phone you so you can listen in. So in this case, you just put your phone number in again. I've already preset that. If we press the OK here, what this is doing now is you can see the device is phoning me back. So I'm not sure if you could hear me there because of the phone call going off, but it's important to say that you do pick up that call and answer it. Otherwise, particularly if you have a voicemail on, the unit may just continually run until your voicemail box is full and using all your credit, etc. So if you do get those calls, pick them up so it doesn't use all your credit up. And then when you put the phone down, it will cancel the call, obviously. So that's how the conversations button works. We'll then go into the geofence at the top right. So what is geofence? So geofence, quite simply, is if you park your vehicle in a certain area, you can go into the maps. If you press the geofence button, you can see here, you can go into the map. a map of where you are will come up, but you can pick anywhere in any region within the map. Pick where you like to be and where your vehicle's parked. For example, on a night example, you can put a radius around that. At the moment it's defaulted to 100 meters, but using the bar at the top you can make that to a lot bigger area. As you can see here, I've made it up to 2,900 meters. So what happens, you set that geo point, and if the vehicle moves out of anywhere out of that area of that radius, it will send you an alert to your phone. And it's important to know, however, that the geofence can use quite a bit of battery, because it's always looking and making sure it knows where your vehicle is. So because of that, we have a second option. We have a GPS fence. If you press this GPS fence, basically the way this works, it actually looks for the nearest network to you and links to that Wi-Fi in the very nearest ones to you. Well, not just the one, but it can be a selection. So at the top right here we have the plus button. If we press that button, let's just give this an example of office. Put our name in. We can see in the Wi-Fi box here, we've had some options come up of lots of Wi-Fi's near us. This is the top one's our office number Wi-Fi, so we'll just select that and we just press OK. That's been saved successfully, so you can see office has been put at the top of the page here. So now, if that's been set up, if the vehicle moves outside the Wi-Fi zone, i.e. we all know that Wi-Fi can go from anywhere between 100 feet to 50 feet to you know, in some cases, depending what Wi-Fi setup, you can get up to 300 yards. But if the vehicle moves outside that area and disconnects with that Wi-Fi, it will send you an alert to your phone. It's also important to know that you can actually connect to any Wi-Fi. So I'll just go I'll just put a quick example in here. The hut, I have no idea who that is. However, our system will cleverly link to that device itself, that Wi-Fi network. It's only looking for the signal, therefore it's not trying to get into the actual Wi-Fi itself, it's just looking for the signal. So it knows when it's lost that signal, that it's moved out of the area. So you don't need any password at all to use this Wi-Fi setting. To delete these, you quite simply go in, hold the button down and of the address you wish, and you go to cancel, and that will remove that. Sorry, I should have gone to remove it and then gone to OK. And there you go, that's removed that. I'll just remove this one as well. So you press it again, hold it, press delete Wi-Fi and go to OK. That same instance happens with the GPS fence as well. Although we didn't set one here, if we had, I need to name that. I'll go office again. And that is showing the longitude, latitude and radius that we chose for the geofence. Again, we can just easily delete that by going into edit geofence or delete geofence, and we go OK, and that will remove that geofence. So as we said, the actual geofence can use quite a lot of battery, but with the Wi-Fi fence, it uses a lot less battery because it's not constantly looking for satellites, etc. It just needs to make sure that it doesn't lose connectivity. So back to our main page again. So real-time tracking. So we'll just quickly press on that. So this gives us obviously our real-time location of our vehicle. Not to be confused with the blue dot that's on here. This blue dot that's on here at the moment is our phone. Okay, that is not where the vehicle is. On the top right hand side here we have a settings wheel. If we go to that settings wheel and press that settings wheel, it will come up with an interval for uploading. At the moment it's set at 10 minutes, so that means it looks for a satellite every 10 minutes. For a more live setting, we go to 1 minute positioning, and we will find that the device will register with the system. It will take a minute for it to first let you know where that vehicle is, and then every minute thereafter it just constantly looks for that position. We'll leave it as it is for the minutes, and we'll probably come back to it in a minute, so that when there's a green triangle, that is the location of where we have located our smart alarm device. So at the moment our smart alarm device is in the van on the side of the road, and it just pops up there. Again, it's important to remember that if you are using real-time tracking, it isn't like your sat-nav on your phone. This is for when your vehicle has been stolen and you're just trying to locate it. So it's really important not to get confused with that live tracking environment. It's just to actually locate where your vehicle is. So once that's been set up, it should be noted that if you put it on a minute and leave it on a minute, it's always going to drain the battery a lot quicker, because again it's looking at the satellites every single minute. And you have options back in that interval setting for uploading, where you can load it to up to 12 hours, where it only looks once every 12 hours. You might think that's not sufficient for you, but if you've got those noise sensors on, those vibration sensors on, realistically the geofence shouldn't have to look at more than every 12 hours, because all the other sensors are doing a quicker and more accurate job for you. This is only for when realistically you're looking to do the live tracking, and you can come into this page and look at that. So we open up the next button, the historical route data. In here you can look to see, using the dates settings and the time settings, etc., or yesterday's, etc., where your vehicle has been. And however, you must remember it relates to that live tracking information. If you set it at a minute, it will show you where that vehicle was every minute within that certain period of time. However, if you set it at 12 hours, it will only show you where that vehicle has been at those certain points. So let's say you at one point at 12 o'clock in the day, and it will show you that point where you were at 12 o'clock, and then on the evening at 12 midnight it will show you that location. Again, it's really just telling you that the tracking device is for tracking your vehicle live. It's not really a sat-nav or a fleet management service. So the other list we have here is the alert list. We have alert list, basically is historic record of the alerts that have been sent to your phone. Here we can see that today we had a quick sound test alert, and it recorded that alert, so you can see how many times your alarm has been set off, which actual devices, sensors are setting it off, just so you, particularly when you're setting up, you just get used to it, and it just let you know what's armed and what's not armed. We have a remind setting button, bottom left here. This is all to do with your app. It really hasn't got anything to do with the mobile device, smart device itself. We have an enable button. This turns on and turns off the app. That needs to be turned on or turned off. We have a ringtone reminder by the mobile phone. That's to make sure that when you're getting your in-app messages, you can get some tonal awareness And we have the vibration alert also. So on your phone, it's to make sure that the phone will vibrate if you've got that button turned on. Our last two buttons are our fax button and our logout button. At the moment, with regards to our fax button, we are still updating the help pages on there. So we suggest that you actually go to the web address for your help, where you'll find all that information, and you're probably looking at this video anyway. So that's to come just yet. It's to do with the new 4G device that we've now got running. And then we have, last and not least, our logout button, which is, as it says, we press the logout button and it will log us out of the app. We should remember again that even though we're logged out of the app, if we have set our alerts to text and phone call, you will still get those alerts once the sensors go off and the sensors have been armed. However, if you are out of the app, you will not get the in-app messages. So we hope that helped.